Okay, we are looking into how to install a motherboard. To install a CPU in a motherboard. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna turn this phone like this. This is the floor. It is standing at about 80 degrees, 70 degrees. That helps when you're installing the CPU. Okay, but when it is lying down, okay, when it is lying flat, first of all, you need to get a good piece of paper or rubber, something like that, okay, so that you anti-static, paper, like mostly paper, okay, rubber or some, not paper. The best thing is the cardboard. Why the cardboard or the what? You know how you call it? Okay, it will be flat. Okay, this is a cardboard. Okay, and it has to be a good cardboard so that if the pins get through, they do not pop up. They do not create a micro cracks. Okay, in the motherboard here, for example. Okay, if this thing is soldered through, okay, the pin underneath can be able to pierce through the board, the surface. But if it is on metal one, it will short circuit. That is one. Look at them. Okay, the non-surface mounted, the what the what how do you call it? They go through pins like this one. Okay, it has to go through the box and not touch the metal, because they will short circuit. For example, if this is a capacitor, for example, two legs of the capacitor, if they touch metal, they will short circuit. That is one example. Good example. So I think there are too many metals, too many components soldered through. Soldered in the through the board. Okay, there are some which are surface mounted, and but these capacitors and stuff like that, and some are big as this. Okay, they are. I mean, they are through. They go through. They have legs which go through the motherboard, and some are surface mounted, like you can see them here. Those tiny C311 capacitors. These ones are surface mounted. They are on the surface, they don't go through, but like these ones will have to go through. So you will see underneath, and they have metals going through them. Okay, now the capacitor, the CPU will be like this. There will be a cooler, in most cases, a cooler, which is just a piece of metal with a fin, so that it can transfer the heat. This one creates this one here creates a lot of heat, 100, 200 degrees. It will fry, you will fry it. So that's why they put in a piece of metal with the fins, okay, like a motorcycle. Look at the motorcycle. The motorcycle has the fins on the block, on the engine block, on the cylinder block. So those fins are so that air can, to give it more surface area. Uh, it can collect more air, and the more surface area, the more the heat dissipation. That's why they make fins on the motorcycle. Look at it, and you will see what I'm saying, because it is air cooled. So this will be a big cooler and a fan on top. There will be a fan on top. This is metal. I'm just trying to show you. The fan will be blowing air from out of the out of this fin. The heat from the CPU will be dissipating into this, and then the surface, the fins, the many fins will be around. Okay, and it will help it to cool, to dissipate the heat, and the air will go through. So the fan will help to do what, to draw it. Now, so this data, we are assuming this is a cooler. Okay, the cooler, the metal thing. Now, when you take it off, okay, you clean this first. This is tomato paste. I got tomato paste so that I can show you. It is like this. That drop is enough. Why do you put tomato paste? To me, what I decided to do is red grease. Red grease, why? Because red grease, it looks in fact like this. But this is just for demonstration. Now, this will dry out. Don't do tomato paste. Okay, there is thermopaste. Thermopaste is made to not dry. It dries, but after a long time. But what I've discovered is grease. Machinery grease, automotive and stuff, but the heavy machinery grease, which I found out was has a melting point or liquefaction point of 600 degrees Celsius, which is really high. This one might not. At 200 degrees, it will have fried out. So, and operating at 100 degrees, that's a lot too much. So you expect at least to go, if at all it goes to 300 degrees, then the grease will not emulsify, will not liquefy, will not become like oil, okay, and spread in the what. So now, first of all, first thing is you clean. You clean from outside to inside. I'm just showing you with this piece of paper so that, because it will be a lot. I mean, it will be too much. Then you clean from the inside out, from the outside inside, okay, to the inside. You roll it up and from inside outside, and then you put alcohol. Okay, alcohol like this is 91% because it cleans, leaving out no residues. So propyl alcohol or ethanol, methanol, what? Okay. Okay. Now, this is alcohol. Another thing for why ethanol? Because ethanol, it will evaporate. So, you see, it will evaporate. If it makes when it is blown away with air or sun or whatever, it easily dissipates. I mean, evaporates by heat, by what? Or surface heat or whatever, the warmth, and then it will leave no residues. Okay, so you see that thermopaste, it has markings where the thermopad left a mark. I mean, the thermo whatever, the cooler left a mark. Okay, because it is round like this, like I have shown you now. So you have cleaned it, then you take it out. You push this thing down. You see, it pushes down a little bit, and it has a spring. It has a spring, so it comes up like this. Okay, you see where it enters in here? When you are closing, this why it enters in here and locks. Open it from outside and let it in. That is when you are putting it back and taking it out. Okay, you pull it towards out, push it a little bit down because it is a spring. It is a spring. You push it outwards. Okay, and open. Before you forget that, these screws, this thing can be taken out. Okay, this thing can be taken out. You see, this needs an Allen key of a certain size, which you have to use to take it out. Okay, there are three, not screws, but Allen keyed. And in the back, it has, yeah, this is how it is. It has another plate in the back. The plate in the back, okay, it screws in the plate in the back. You see, so using the Allen key, this place will go out. This one is not every motherboard will have this, but for this one, oh, I have made a mistake. I have made a mistake. Okay. Okay, you have taken this thing out. Because I'm using one hand, I will not clean it. Clean it from the outside so that the grease or whatever thermopaste does not reach here. Please don't let it reach here. Those pins, they're like, this one is 1155 pins, and if it gets that in it, if you get that in it, dirty, okay, then there will be no contact with these pins here. These pins are too small, too tiny. It is the most delicate thing to handle here, that you have to take great care. Okay, those pins, they are very delicate. So this one is not damaged. If there is a pin, you will see it. If there is that, you will see it here. Okay, you zoom in and see. I mean, if it is well covered, then you cannot do what? Then you do not have that worry. But it is good to zoom in and out and try to assess if there is any dirt in. Okay, now, okay, those are the pins. If I handle it like this, you can see the pin on this side, how they are standing. They are in different orientations. These ones are lying towards the other end, like that. Okay. Okay, so you can use a camera or a magnifying glass, okay, to see how they are. Now, okay, now you have finished cleaning this thermal paste. I mean, this, I've not cleaned it well because I'm using only one hand, okay? Now, these capacitors and whatever, these components are in the middle and they will go in between the hole. Now, each motherboard has a mark to indicate that this is where the CPU goes. That point have to match that triangle, that tricycle, whatever, meaning three angle, the three corners. So it is only this corner that has a triangle, okay, which means you have to match it with a triangle on the CPU, which is, look for it because I'm using one hand, okay, at the corner. You can show me the triangle, okay, there is the triangle, you see. So there is the triangle and it goes in here, you see that it goes in here. So you match it there, right there, okay. And it has to be, when it is standing, it is better when it is standing, because so that it does not drop. This is, you don't press it, you don't do anything. I'm handling it, by the way, very carefully here, because if you put it in here, it will drop. Now the best thing is to stand it up, okay. Stand it up like it is here, okay, on a piece of paper. You know, you have a firm ground, okay. Now you match the triangle, you look for the triangle. Here it is below, unfortunately. Whether it is below or wherever, you match the triangle. Here it is, okay, here it is. And the triangle is where? And the triangle is, oh, it is right here. You see where the triangle is? Okay, it is the only corner that has a triangle. This does not have a triangle. Underneath does not have a triangle. Okay, it does not have, and even on this, whatever there is on this metal, on this cover, okay, there is a triangle. Is right here. Do you see that triangle? There's no triangle here. There's no triangle here. There's no triangle. So it is this triangle here, meaning, which means our assumption here is correct. That is the triangle. You see? Now, this triangle, you'll match it with this CPU here. You look, see that the triangle here. There's no anywhere there is a triangle. It's only that arrow or triangle or arrow. You know how you will call it. Okay. Now, stand it up. When you stand it up, you can hold it with two hands. Okay. But don't short it. Make sure you're using a piece of paper on the what? On the surface. On a board or surf or whatever. Okay. Because this is the most sensitive part you have to take care of. If it is not clean, okay, you might get a piece of cloth, lintless, no lint paper cloth, and clean it with alcohol, okay. You drop a drop of alcohol here like this, okay, and rub some alcohol, and then you clean it very carefully, and then clean it, okay, clean it very carefully and dry. And you get what I'm saying? I have only one hand, remember, okay. You clean it very carefully, so that, why? Because alcohol cleans a lot, it will leave no residue. So if it is kind of oil that is stuck on the pads, okay, that is stuck on the pads, it will get off a very soft one, and make sure it is dry, okay. And when it is dry, okay, you turn it, make sure it is very clean. Use, okay, now when it is standing like this, it makes it easier for you because you'll sit it in here. Don't press, don't, it is zero insertion force. It's called ZEF, ZEF, zero insertion force. So you don't use any force. So if it was here, it was laying down, it would drop. But here, if I drop, I put it in here in its whatever, in its slot, okay, and time its slot, it is going, because I'm using one hand, you see, it is sitting snugly. It is sitting snugly without dropping it, without falling in, okay? You see? You see? You push it a little bit and it is not shaking. It is firm. Now, you get this button here, okay? You get it here. You pull it down so that it enters, so that it can enter here, okay? It can go down. Okay, okay, you see, so so it is able to do what? It is lying on the board so that that teeth will click in there, okay, will go in that whatever. So now you can even put it on the ground, because I have one hand, okay, you can put it on the ground. Confirm, confirm, corner, yes, corner. I mean, this whatever, the yellow thing. There's always a mark, the small mark. The triangle is followed by big circle, by smaller circle, and the smallest circle. Okay, so that is it, and it looks very clean on top. So if it is clean at the bottom, okay. Now here you put it in. It is easy. It takes like 5 seconds, 1 minute to work on. But now for demonstration purposes, okay, now you get a thermopaste. Thermopaste, I have tried its solutions. People have tried Colgate, everything they have tried, okay, but what they have tried is what I have tried, okay. But now for demonstration purposes, you need to put some here, okay, some here, so that it spreads enough. But that's a lot. And here, so that is why you have to put in different corners so that you can spread it. Okay, you see what was here? That is enough. And I can spread it with this, okay, with this, okay, with this, so that when the thing sits in, okay, okay, so that is enough. That is enough. Okay, you might add an extra so that in case it does not reach, because this water liquid is the best transfer of heat. So now, like it is now, if you get this one, you may apply it on this one too, like this one. Now if you put it in, because the cooler is almost this size, and some fins are bigger, and then the fins, okay, but the solid block is something like that diameter. So when it sits here, if you were able to see, if I had a white plastic, but you can see the shadow underneath. Okay, it is sitting. Okay, you see it is sitting in it, and it is showing that it is covering. It is covering the whole thing. So you need to put in just enough, good enough. You see the paste underneath. It is sitting. I mean, it is spreading evenly. Okay, did I put in too little? No. If too little, then you add a little, just a drop. Like you have spread, put another drop in the middle so that for emergency, but don't spread it beyond so that it squishes it out onto onto the bigger surfaces. Because if it does, then you'll have been in trouble next time you are changing tomato paste. I mean, not tomato paste, never ever do it. Thermal paste. This is for demonstration purposes only. So you see, it is locked in. Okay, this button is locked in. When you are taking it out, you put it, and then when you're putting it back, In this button is locked in here. These ones you can screw them out. You can buy a new one of these, whatever the, how do you call it? Call this the K, whatever. Find out how you call it. The bracket. How you find, you can buy this bracket, a better one or whatever, or the compatible one. And so now this is done. This is done here. So you get RAM. You open, you make sure it is open. There is always, this has only two because it is a lower end board. They will have 1, 2, 3, 4, but it will be marked like this one will be 1 in the middle, 2 outside. Mostly these ones are the first, the white ones are the first, where you put the first to put what? To put RAM. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So they will be marked 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to, if you have one, you put in number 1. If you have number 2, then you put them in that orientation, white. When you have 3, mostly they better go in pairs. Okay. So now here the power supply has a what? A notch here where it will click in, clap. If you are taking out, you press it. You hold it as close as possible. You clip it in. Okay. You clip it in for the main board. Like this one is 24. There's some are 8, some are 6, but the best standard one is 24. Always try to make sure you buy 24, because if it is not 24, it's going to give you, you have to buy, to spend sometimes other more money to buy an adapter, so you buy a 24 board with a 24 power connector. Well, if it is cheaper and you know that you do not have much to upgrade, to change or whatever, yeah, you can live with that. Okay, this is the main power supply. You clip, it will simply clip after putting it in the box. Okay, but RAM, you can test it here. Now this one, you can use a fan to blow it here, to test it here. Put it after putting in the CPU, the RAM, and the power supply outside the box. It is ready to go, and then you put a SATA 0 is number 1. It is always marked 0, 0, 1. So 0 is the best for running the primary drive. Okay, the primary hard drive. Okay, 0, and then 1, and then 2. This one, this one has 4. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So meaning it has 4 connectors for SATA. If not, if not, yeah, and if you want to add more SATA whatever, then you can get another attachment like this. You see, this is a SATA connector, okay, in the PCI slot, okay. You put it in here, and then it has SATA connections. It does not provide power, but it provides. So this is one. This one is for 4. So if you have 7 drives, so this is for 4. There are some which are up to 10 something even. Okay, 10. So it has, this one has 3, and this is 4. So but you have to get power from somewhere, from the power supply or the power supply divider. Okay, so that is the meaning of PCI, peripheral interconnect express, whatever. Peripheral component interconnect components or something like that. That's how it is called. So this is a what? This is a graphics card. You can use the one which is on the motherboard in the CPU, okay, without using this. But I'm saying that is why you have these components to expand. You put in some other things that you want. USBs, what? Hard drives, what? Many things that you can put in here. So let's go back to the motherboard, to our motherboard. Okay, so here it is. Okay, put in RAM, the CPU is in, RAM is in, power is on. Hard drive, you need to have a hard drive. But if you are using a SATA M.2 hard drive, you can put it in here. If it has a slot, this is an old board, it does not have that slot. Okay, you clip it in. Okay, it will be like there's no anything I can demonstrate for you here, but that's what you do. And then power, 2 connectors for power for the board and the power for the CPU. So this one is having 24 pins. Okay, 12 times 12 times 2. Okay, this is 12 12 times 2, and the CPU is 4. Some have 8 times 8. 8 times 2. It has like 2 power supplies for the CPU alone. 4 connectors, but 24 24 and 4 is a lot common and is a lot standard. If you want to go to a higher end, yeah, you'll find a motherboard which has 8 connectors for the power supply and another 8. So you can use either 2 or 1 of the CPU connectors near the CPU. So that is it. Then it will boot up. Make sure there is something. If you put grease here, you need a fan. You can mount a fan somewhere here of USB or direct in the power or something so that it blows air for testing, but it should not be long term. And so you can put things like this underneath. Okay, you can drill holes in them. Okay, so that these components sometimes produce a lot of heat. Okay, if it is sitting at a component which produces heat, so that heat can escape, you put it underneath. So I'm using it on metal here because I'm not valuing this motherboard long term. It is for teaching purposes. Okay, but well, if it works, but it's not in my plans to use or something. So that's why I'm holding with my hands. That's why I'm holding a camera. So it's not a big deal to me. I bought it for what? For testing, orientation, and teaching. Okay, I wanted to see how much it can carry, like that board I showed in the other video, or how much it can carry and stuff like that. So this is graphics card, where you can put a graphics card, anything like a more expansion for SATA and stuff like that. And here, this is a CMOS battery. Okay, this is a CMOS battery which controls the clock and other settings in the laptop, in the motherboard. Okay, so that if this one is dead, you need to get another one. Sometimes it lasts a long time, 4 years, 5 years, 20 years, 10 years, even more. But you need to replace it because it is cheap. CR2032, CR2032, okay? You need to do that. CR2032, that is the size. You buy it and put it in. How? You simply pull this one outside like this, and it will jump out. Okay? It's out. You get a new one. It has positive and negative side. Positive side is touching here underneath. Okay, and because then the outside part will be touching on the somewhere on the board, on this board. So putting it in, same thing. You took it out. Okay, like you could take it out. Be careful, and yeah, you simply push it in. This one will open. You simply push it in. Tap, it's done. So that is what you do. So this is the back of the board. Okay, it has 6 USBs, all USB 2s. I think it does not have USB 3. So this is the back, and the connector, HDMI connector for the display, and the VGA, video graphics array, which you can use. This is outdated somehow, and the components for sound in and out, for headsets or microphones. So that is it. And the fan connector, so you can use the fan if you have the fan, the 4-pin. This one is a 4-pin. Some have 5-pin, but you may use it. Sometimes they give provisions where you can use it is 5, and you find it sockets well with the 3-pin. Okay, that's the fan and the switch. And now when you are turning it on, you need a screwdriver. So it has these connectors. It's called front panel. So mostly at the sides. So you'll find the word front panel. This is fan, CPU fan, which means CPU fan, and then this is there is a system fan. Okay, that is internal speaker, and sometimes you can follow so you look for the fan. The fans are almost the same. Okay, there has to be 2 fans at least for the internal for the CPU and the system, which is at the board. I mean at the case, which is normally at the case, and then you plug in the cord, the socket. So this is USB, and where it is here. Okay, for the CPU it is here near the PCIe. Okay, here. So it is even fan system, or simply meaning system fan. Okay, it is a 3-pin, and The other one here, for the CPU, is a fan CPU. I mean CPU fan CPU, the rate fan CPU, and system CPU or CPU system. Okay, and other things, other components. This one, I don't know. You can look because we will not be here forever to do the same thing. This thing will not be here doing this thing. Okay, and this is a buzzer. You are lucky that there is this buzzer. Okay, this one is a diagnostic speaker which tells you tip tip, meaning it is fine. Tip 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 tip. And things like that. So how many chords it will be telling you how something that is wrong. If the RAM, for example, one is dead, when it cannot start up, please, most of the time, you try to check the RAM. Maybe it has not clocked in well. Okay, maybe it has not clocked in well. When you push it in, it has to close this one. It will close by itself. When you push, because it will push underneath this thing button here, that clip there, and it will close. When you push it down here, the teeth has to match. Okay, it has to match. One side is short and one side is long. I don't know which one. I'm not trying, but I'm just trying to show you what happens. Hi. So at the front panel or the switch, like this one, it has a switch where it has this one is for 5 pins. It has 5 pins. Okay. This one is saying power switch 1, which means it has some power switches. It can have some power switches. So now, these two, for example, these two will be for the power connection switch. You know, a switch is simply one line, and you just connect the switch. You just connect the circuit. You understand what the switch is? Okay. You just connect the circuit, and then it will turn on. Okay. It will turn on. Okay, so this is for so this is 5 pins. Okay, that is 5 pins. Most of the time, the ones which are outside are the ones. So two are for the switch, and 2 are for LED. LED means the light emitting diode. 2 of them. Mostly, if there are some external switches which you can get and connect. Let me get a speaker, an external speaker, and show you. Okay, you plug in like that speaker. You see that speaker? Okay, that speaker, I have bought it, and you can plug it in like that. Then there is a switch on it, but this is for the internal speaker. You can see how they have written on it. They are very tiny because I'm using a camera so that you can be able to see. So they will be standing like this. So there is a switch on top. You press the switch and turn it on. Or okay, okay. This is an external switch. It has, for example, this one is showing you it is a power switch, which means they go together. 2 pins. You are not able to see it clearly, but this is how it is. The switch, power switch, okay, and 2, they will tell you what it is. HDD, hard disk drive, meaning the hard disk drive, LED. So they will also be plugging in the same way. And then there will be like this one. It has 3. This is reset switch. And then it has 3 independent ones for power LED. For power LED, if the power is on, so this one will light. Okay, positive and negative. There will be a diagram sometimes, but so these are external LEDs, and this is how it is on the other side. Okay, on the opposite side, you see. So this one will be a switch. This is a switch. If you have connected it well, then you connect the power switch. I mean the power LED. This is the LED. It will light green. Okay, you connect it in, you plug it in, and then the hard drive HDD, you remember the HDD LED hard drive disk light emitting diode. That is the light, the bulb, the light. It will light and show you that it is running perfectly, it is running correctly and stuff like that. This is the reset switch. One of them is reset switch. So you follow the wires. Which one? Like this one, which is the first one, most of the yellow and white. It is everything and white, everything and white, red and white, blue and white, white and white, white and white. Okay, the yellow and white is the power switch. You'll have to follow it, and you press it, and you are good to go. Now, what if you don't have it? Now, if you don't have it, this is what you do. They are jumpers. First of all, this switch, most of the time it is you short these pins here. Okay, these pins here. Make sure you only touch. You see, this one is too long, so it will connect others. So you might blow the board. You might blow the board. So just a little. So like me, I can, but never try this at home. Okay. To me, I can just clip and the fan will start running immediately. It is good to have a fan because the fan, you will see it running immediately. It will start running, and you know. But for the screwdriver, it is good because the screwdriver is big and it will what? It will bridge only two LEDs, only two. So if it bridges only two, it would there's no what possibility. The possibility is low for bridging another one, other LED. I mean other pins. Okay, other pins. So you will bridge only two. But you see this one, it is almost touching here. I can cut one piece off. Okay, but it is good to use a flathead screwdriver. I mean the Phillips screwdriver, so that you can use this one. Okay, this one was cut from something. Okay, this is a metal thing which was cut from something. Okay, which you can use to bridge it for testing purposes. And then you can get two wires, plug them in, and you use them. Once you short them together, it will start. And when you touch and hold, then it turns off. Never do that. You have to turn it from the screen. So that is what you do. You touch it, and that is hard stop. Hard stop. That is when you have no alternative, you have no nothing. That is the power switch. Okay, now the power switch, that is the official power switch. There is a front panel, mostly at the side. If it is a higher end board, or the board if you buy it just building your own thing, so it will have a front panel, and it will have a map like this one. So for example, this is a switch for clearing password clear. You see, I can't see it. This is password clear. You see, it is password clear. Now it has a map here. It is showing you pin number 1 and 2 is password clear. Pin number 2 and 3, okay, is normal or default. That is normal. If you want to clear the password, which means pin number 1 and 2, if you remove this thing, you lift it up. Okay, I will not lift it up. I think because I am demonstrating, so I'm demonstrating. So there has to be no CMOS battery because you are clearing everything and starting from scratch. So you have first of all to press the stop button, the stop button times how many? I mean for like 5-10 seconds, which I showed you over there, the power switch. Okay, and then this one has a metal. It is a contact. It is a metal that connects two switches. Now where we took it off, we took it out, CMOS clear. Okay, it has also a map that number 1 and 2 is clearing, number 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3 it is normal running. So now here the password. Let's go back to password. Password, if you are clearing the password, it means you have to plug it in here. Okay, plug it in here, And then, because when there is no CMOS battery, by the way, CMOS battery, because it will keep the CMOS battery. The CMOS battery, remember where it is? Where is it? It is this one here. Okay. It may work. Moreover, if it is dead, it is better you take it out if it is dead, because it will give you problems like failure to boot, repeated whatever instructions. It is better take it out if you know it is dead. It is cheap. You can just buy it and put it another one, and it lasts a long time. But using it when it is dead, sometimes it is better you take it out totally. Okay. Now, after clearing all the passwords, it starts afresh. All the memories you had, all the settings will go. Okay, all the settings will go. So this is pin number what? They said 1 and 2. So it is clearing password here. Okay, for like 10 seconds. It is not in power after unpowering everything. That one you do it like once in years sometimes. Okay, you don't need to do, but I'm saying if you are setting up your machine and it is your first time and stuff like that. Okay, so after doing that, it has cleared the CMOS clear or the power clear. Okay, the power clear and password clear. Then you put it in 3 and 2 and 3. Okay, now that is normal running. So you have cleared it and you can start your machine. Okay, it has been just a matter of, I mean, it was about just putting in the CPU, but that is important because you cannot put in only the CPU, then you have to put in it in RAM. Okay, it is only not putting in central processing unit. Central processing unit is the brain of the computer. That is the most expensive chip. That is the most expensive chip. There are many chips here, that, like this one. This one is the South Bridge. Hmm? There's the South Bridge or something, and this is the what? The power controller or something. Okay, and some other chips here, power controller modules, and there are some chips here. Okay. Hmm? This one is what? This is a coil. Coil you can research and see. So these components, but it is only a coil with a cap on it so that it prevents the interference. Okay, power goes in through, and then it creates a magnetic force which releases. It works in general terms like a capacitor, but it's a certain way. It is somehow different. I mean, slightly different. It charges and slowly and releases slowly, and discharges slowly. I mean, okay, it charges slowly and releases slowly so that it does not to prevent a surge, and the capacitor charges so that it's the same thing. It releases slowly and so that while you get time to replenish, to pump, you pump in and then it releases. So that is, we are not about components, but that's what we are trying to say, so that you know some of these things. So CMOS, this is the CMOS battery. That is the battery which keeps the memory, the settings, you told it, password and stuff like that, and settings for the hard drive, for the what. So that is what maintains it. Even if you are not in power, it will be on. It will be controlling. After 4 years, after you come back, you find your laptop, your motherboard is, I mean, your computer is fine. In other words, you do not have to spend 4 years. But what I'm saying is just an example. You have to turn it on at least maybe 1 month, maybe 6 months, and stuff like that. Now, the password also, password clear. You can clear it the same way. You unplug every power thing. Okay, the hard drive, you unplug everything, and you leave only what takes power, not what brings in power. You leave in the fans, you can leave in everything, the CPU in, the fan, because these are taking power. They will drain power. So they help you to drain power. That is when you clear the CMOS the same way using these 3 pins. Okay, the first pin and second pin, depending, but the motherboard, the manufacturer can be different. Okay, or can be different. So the first pin, like in this particular one, first pin and second pin is normal. Or whatever how it is, the map is here. You can use a magnifying glass again and read the map. Okay, first glass and second glass. I mean, first pin and first and second, and then you put it to normal. Okay, that is password clear. And CMOS clear, same thing. What is the CMOS? It is over there. Okay, CMOS clear. You do the same thing. Memory clear. There's memory clear. There's password clear and the CMOS clear. You see, there are two clears mostly. The CMOS clear. This cable is interfering. There is the memory clear. The CMOS clear and password clear. So you are resetting your machine. Okay, I have taught you how to put on. So these other pins, they are for the USB in the front, extra USB in the front. But even if they are not there, they will work. If you don't need those extra USBs, extra switches, extra what, it will be there. Now, another switch is, there is another switch here. I don't know if I can find it. Okay, front panel. It is written front panel or something like that. So this is for USB, is not front panel switch. Mm-hmm. I think it is not. If it is not here, some are very small. You need time to do what. And this is a USB. This is USB F2, USB F1. I don't know. So I can't find it for now. So this is homework for you. You can look for it. This is audio connector or something. So it will be just like this. So where you can plug in and use other, and the board will tell you when you turn it on. When you turn it on, it will tell you that the what is not connected, the switch is not connected, the what is not connected. You press F1, okay, and it restarts. Then F1, F2, F5, F1, F2, F5, and F12 for Dell, and other whatevers they have, but mostly they are around that, around the same thing. Okay, F1, F2. You need to be very okay. You need to mark those ones. So you play around with them. Sometimes it can give you time. The starting it, sometimes it can give you a hard time after connecting, or you have changed something. Sometimes it can give you, but those are the buttons. I mean, yeah, those are the instructions. Those are the instructions. F1, F2, F5. You'll be interacting with it. It will be telling you. You'll be talking. I mean, it is talking with you. You listen. You watch what it's telling you. Then you press one down, enter, and if you have your hard drive connected outside, you tell it. You set it to legacy. To legacy. If it is not legacy, then it will give you a hard time. If it is legacy and what, and the what, and there's legacy and what, you can find it out. Legacy and so those two for starting whatever's, and the I've forgotten. It is for what, but legacy is for outside. Starting for booting from outside, from a thumb drive, a flash drive, a memory card, or something like that. So that is for legacy. We have made this video very long, but there is a ton of information in it, which is very helpful. With this video, you can build any computer. You can build your own computer. So those are the basics to build a computer. Even in a factory, they are the same thing that you do to assemble the computer. If you are building it factory built, okay, these components are sourced out of different places. Okay, so let's end it there. Let's end it there. You can see the shape of the SATA, serial, whatever, transfer and something like that. It's transferring data in serial. In other words, hard drive, it means hard drive. That is for data. That is SATA 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Mostly they are 4. Okay. Memory clear, I have told you that. Memory clear. There's whatever password clear, CMOS clear. Memory clear. Password CMOS clear. and password clear. So you'll find it on the front panel. There will be a button like this, which will be indicated front panel. And it will tell you that the first button, okay, that is negative and positive. Negative for hard drive LED, for hard drive LED, just like I have shown you on this switch, on this one. So it is depends on the motherboard. This one is not much. So this one you can make your own switch. Okay, this one is bought with adapters. Okay, because you cannot. It is not easy to make them at home. And on this side, it is a long cable. By the way, it is a long cable. On this side, it has the switches and the LEDs. These lights are very important. The way this one blinks, it will show you. It will tell you what is going on. And this one, it will tell you a lot of information on what it is going on. Okay. Okay. Bye. Did this is for graphics card release button. If you push it down here, this one is for pushing. It will push it up. Okay, it will push it up to release it. So when you put it down here and you press, okay, you press it in here, it will call it back. Okay. This RAM, same thing. You push it in, then the other one will push it up. Okay. When you do like this, then it is pushing it up. When you push the RAM down, it will call it back. Okay. So when you are taking out RAM, you open both ends, and when you are putting it back, you open both ends, put it in, and you will hear it clicking. It will click. You might help it both, but you use both hands and press those both ends on. Remember, a cardboard box. It is very important. Okay, it does not have to be very soft like a bed. It does not have to be very hard like a metal or a board, or I mean a piece of wood. Okay, so let's stop that.